I'm talking to Dr. Jamie Travis from Akron Children's Hospital about good sleeping habits. So let's start with the why. Why is it important for children to have good habits?
So sleep is so important for children. It really creates an important foundation for their health. So sleep really impacts the way that children function during the day. So you might see kids be really irritable during the day, have more disruptive behavior problems, have more difficulty managing their moods or emotions during the day if they don't get adequate sleep. So you could see that it would really impact family dynamics or their social interactions if they're having difficulty kind of managing their mood or behavior. Additionally, kids have a lot harder time learning if they haven't gotten good sleep. So it's harder for them to pay attention during school. It's harder for them to be able to remember what they learned. So therefore, you can start to see academic problems if kids are sleep deprived. And additionally, kids will also experience physical difficulties. They'll have slower reaction times, which might make them more likely to have accidents, or if they're participating in sports, to have a difficult time engaging in their sports as they would like to, performing as they would like to.
It makes sense. So is there a magic number? How much do they need?
That's a good question. So it's important for parents to have an idea about how much sleep their child needs, and that's going to depend on their age. So younger children, if you think infants, newborns, they're going to need a lot of sleep. Newborns need between 14 and 17 hours of sleep. As kids get older, they need less sleep, but they probably might need more sleep than you think they do. So school-age children, for example, need between 9 and 12 hours of sleep, and adolescents need between 8 and 10 hours of sleep, which some parents will think, they just need 7 or 8, but actually adolescents really benefit from getting at least 9 hours of sleep at night.
The more the merrier is the theme I'm seeing here. As parents, what can we do to instill these habits, these great habits?
So it's important for parents to start good sleep foundation habits early on for their kids. So some of the things to keep in mind when you're trying to help your child get good sleep is to make sure they have a comfortable sleeping environment, a good bedtime routine, and a consistent sleep-wake schedule. So in terms of environment, you want to be thinking about, is my child's sleeping environment quiet? Are there too many environmental distractions? Are siblings maybe sharing a bedroom that are actually kind of bothersome to them? Is there anything that we can do to problem solve that? Are there pets that are coming in and out of the room?
Electronics.
Electronics, absolutely. You want to make sure that kids do not have access to electronics after bedtime. I always try to tell my families, if you're needing to recharge, your items, your electronics also need to recharge, so just go ahead and put those somewhere else, charge them in a separate room, and make sure that kids do not have access to them. Because they are very likely to try to sneak them and use them at night.
I feel like that's one of the biggest problems these days. Let's talk about the importance of consistency.
Absolutely. So we want a consistent sleep environment for your child, because whatever your child falls asleep with at the beginning of the night, they're going to need to get back to sleep in the middle of the night. So consistency is really important in sleep environment. You'll often see kids start to have a lot of night wakings or have difficulty staying asleep if they're falling asleep with the TV on, for example, and then they wake up and the TV's turned off. In addition to consistency in sleep environment, kids also benefit from routines, and adults do as well. So it's really important to have a consistent bedtime routine every night that lasts about 30 to 60 minutes and includes calming activities, so self-care activities like taking a bath, brushing your teeth, washing your face, putting on your pajamas, reading a story, and getting into bed. Having both the self-care activities and then calm, quiet activities that the child can do will be helpful to help their mind and their body prepare for sleep. And then once the child is in bed, you want to make sure that they're getting into bed and waking up at a consistent time. So every single night, they're going to bed at the same time and waking around the same time. A lot of parents think, it's okay if my child stays up later on the weekend, they don't have to have a bedtime on the weekend, but actually that can be really problematic when Sunday rolls around and your child has slept in until noon and then has to go to bed at 9 p.m. It'll just be a lot harder for them to fall asleep, and they will start their school week, sleep deprived.
Right, and that kind of brings us to, if you have problems, what if it's not all working for you?
Absolutely. So sometimes it's hard to get kids to sleep well and to get an age-appropriate amount of sleep. So things to consider would be talking to your pediatrician to determine if it might be useful to talk to a mental health provider or someone who can help with behavioral strategies to help your child sleep better. Or to assess whether or not there's something going on with the quality of your child's sleep. So for example, if your child snores, snoring is not actually common at all in children. So if your child is snoring, that's a red flag that they might have something wrong with their breathing at night that could be disrupting their sleep. So talking with your pediatrician to determine if they might need an overnight sleep study like we offer here at Akron Children's in order to determine if there's something else happening with their sleep quality could be important.
Doctor, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.